For lives we create, lives full of worries, thoughts running wild. But here's where you pause, let it rest for a while. Ever feel like you're caught in the noise? Every thought on replay, every choice. Here's a place to unwind, no judgment, just flow. A break from the pressure, a lighter road to go. Whether you're deep in thought, or just need to laugh, this is Don't Overthink, a change from the past. So kick back, relax, take a breath, don't stress. Here every idea finds time to express. It's more than a podcast, it's your space to be. No right, no wrong, just setting thoughts free. Ever feel like you're caught in the noise? Every thought on replay, every choice. Here's a place to unwind, no judgment, just flow. A break from the pressure, a lighter road to go. Whether you're deep in thought or just need to laugh, but this is Don't Overthink, a change from the past. So kick back, relax, take a breath, don't stress. Here every idea finds time to express. It's more than a podcast, it's your space to be. No right, no wrong, just setting thoughts free. Don't overthink and let your mind grow.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Don't Overthink It podcast. I am your host, Donnie, and I'm here with Irish again, as always. Today we have a special guest coming from southern Arizona. We have Coach Mott here with the Rio Rico Hawks, and we're just going to kind of pick his brain a little bit and see what it takes to build a winning culture and a winning football team at the high school level.
What's going on, Donnie? Coach, how y'all doing, man?
Doing good.
Looking forward to this one, dude. I'm a huge football fan, so I'm ready to see the insight from the mind of a coach.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, Coach Mott, go ahead and give us a little bit of background a little bit about your background. You know, where you came from, how long you've been coaching, stuff like that.
I came from a small town in Illinois called Toulon. It's been a traditional powerhouse in small school football in Illinois. I've been around the game since I was 7 years old. Was the team manager when I was in high school because I was unable to play the game because of a birth injury, and just have loved the game ever since I was little. That's the one thing that's kept me going over the years through my health issues that I've had to deal with. And that's basically where I got my start for the love of the game, was when I was in grade school, watching the older kids play for a state championship, and then knew I wanted to be part of that legacy, and just kept going with it after high school.
Nice.
So what's your specific position? If you were to pick a specific position to coach, what would you pick?
I would probably pick where I started at back in 2021, and that was with the wide receivers and the DBs. I am more of an offensive-minded coach than I am a defensive-minded coach. I mean, I know how to stop the pass, I know how to stop the run, but I'm more comfortable putting points on the board.
This is your first year in Arizona. Is there a difference between the Arizona style of football and the Illinois style of football? Competitive?
I think Illinois style, from the Gila standpoint that I was in this year, small school football in Illinois is more competitive, more smash mouth than it was in the Gila. You've seen teams play more spread offense or go multiple sets against us. But I think Illinois style is more toughness, more powerhouse football than what I've seen this year. But not saying that there's not that style in the state of Arizona. Just from
I understand that.
From our schedule wise, from the teams we played, it was more they wanted to spread us out and air the ball out.
Yeah, so you faced almost like an air raid offense a lot of the times.
Yeah, Glendale. It seemed like Glendale wanted to spread us out a lot. But then they would, when most teams would spread us out, they would try to run outside zone, inside zone, counters, dive, and I think they were just doing that.
I remember watching that game on.
Yeah, because you.
I remember watching that game on.
You messaged me right after the game, and you were like, tough loss. And I was like, yeah.
Now, down in Arizona and back where you're from in Illinois, I know you said it was a powerhouse there. Is high school football like a very huge thing? Because I'm from Texas originally, and down there, I mean, football is life. High school football is life. So it's a major, if you got a son, you push them towards football no matter what. I mean, and here in North
Um,
Carolina where I live now, it's not as big as what I would say Texas was, but I was always curious about other states.
where I'm at, they don't really push it hard in southern Arizona, but I know in like Phoenix and all that, it's pushed. At the
Yeah.
bigger schools, like the 6A schools that we have, it's pushed. Um, I feel like being at a 4A school, it's not really pushed hard upon. But we do push multi sport athletes. Most of my football kids are in wrestling or basketball or track or whatever else.
They do say wrestling makes good linebackers.
Yeah, and it toughens up your linemen.
Now, do you coach wrestling as well, or you just
Yes, I
coach
do.
football? Okay.
I'm one of the wrestling coaches and of course, one of the football coaches too.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So, and then I'll go to baseball right after wrestling season's over.
Man, so you dabble in all of them then.
Yeah, I don't take a break.
Nice. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. I wouldn't say nice. I mean, that's no break,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's got to be rewarding. I would feel like. I mean, as a coach, like I said, I've pretty much my whole life I've been a huge football fan, and
hmm
I thought about trying maybe possibly being a coach at some point. Just kind of never worked out. Never really like tried to set my sights on actually doing it or whatever. But
If
I
you
feel like
have
it
the
would be
itch,
rewarding.
I would say go start at the middle school and like volunteer and work your way up. And that's what I did. I mean, my first 2 years as a wide receiver coach, I volunteered. Just
But I
this
would feel like it would be a rewarding thing, especially if you have a team that does
exactly.
is very successful and stuff like that.
Yep, yep. We went 4-6 at the varsity level this year, and the JV went 6-1. Our JV's only loss was to the arch rival Nogales. It was the first game right out the gate. And then after that, we got clicking. We beat a CDO team that was a program win. We had no business probably playing those guys. They were the defending 3A, 4A state champs.
I think it
And
was 3A.
yeah, I can't remember which one they were. And they it was a dogfight. They gave us
Yeah, but
everything we wanted. And then some.
those are the good games. Though the rivalry dogfight games are always the
Yeah,
good games. I feel like.
and then we played for varsity wise. Our rivalry was our Nogales game, and we stuck it to them pretty good for homecoming. But yeah, I mean, the most part I like is the family feel with the guys because I mean I see my guys all day long because I work in the school too. So I'm around my guys constantly. I don't get home till it's 7 o'clock here, and yeah, I'm just now walking in the door. So I spend
So
13,
you have
14
pretty
hours.
much myself. I noticed that there's like it never stops. They say football season's over. Yes, but not for the coaching staff, not for the players. The
No.
games may be over, but the coaches, the players, they have weight room, they have weight training, they have conditioning.
Yeah.
During the summertime, they have 7-on-7 tournaments. Coaches go to clinics, and I didn't realize that either till I started coaching. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm off for the summer." And then I get a text message, "Hey, we're going to this clinic in Phoenix. That's going to be
Yep.
4 days." We spent 4 days in Phoenix, spent 4 days in Las Vegas, and you know, you can get into trouble in some of those places. So
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
you can. So there's absolutely no day off, especially being a 3-sport coach.
We're yeah.
You're never gonna have a day off because you're constantly finding better ways to make your wrestlers better. You're up early in the mornings in the gym or the activity room, throwing with your
Yep.
pitchers, getting them ready, conditioned.
Yep.
So there's a
Yep.
lot.
So
There's a lot to go into coaching than just the season itself.
So
Yeah.
besides the fact of seeing your guys all the time and spending time with them and that family quality relationship, I'm sure you probably gain with most of your students that come through the
Hmm.
years or whatever. What's
Hmm.
another like aspect of the coaching world that just you love it so much that's like what drives you to
I
go?
I love just the daily grind, the process, like the stuff that the kids don't enjoy. Like I love going to practice. I love film session. I love going to the weight room.
Yeah,
Just the daily grind to get better, to improve on the stuff we need to improve on.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, practice, like they say, practice makes perfect, dude. So you got
Exactly.
you got to do it, even though sometimes it probably seems stagnant and boring. But I mean, it's something that is required in that line of work anyway. Typically,
Exactly. And people were talking about how the heat was going to beat me down when we finally moved out here. And I'll tell anybody, Arizona is not hot. Phoenix, Phoenix is hot. The rest of Arizona, that's not hot. That is not hot.
yeah.
Phoenix is the only part of the state that's hot.
I've never been to Arizona. I'm from Texas. It's hot there, bro. Trust me.
Like,
So the Texas heat is almost similar to the Arizona heat.
yeah, yeah. Like, we're supposed to have 80-degree weather. We had 80 degrees today in Rio Rico.
Yeah, I barely pushed 54 degrees and where I'm at
Yeah,
in Arizona.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm at 41
See,
degrees.
and that's one of the great things about Arizona. 3 to 4 hours in one direction, you can be in a total different climate, total different scenery,
Yep.
mountains,
Yep.
everything. You
Yep.
go the opposite direction, you're just desert, city, desert, country life, whatever it is that in any direction you go, you'll run into that. That's one of the great things about living here living in Arizona.
Exactly. Exactly. We
All
absolutely
right.
love it out here.
So one more question for me would be: I asked you what you loved about it. Now, the dreaded question of what is something that not a big fan of when it comes to coaching.
Um, Probably that's touchy subject because there's two things that I really don't like, and it's the AIA officials
Oh yeah,
and
oh
how
yeah.
terrible they
So
are.
that's all over the state, bro. That's all
That's
over the
what I'm
state.
saying. That's what I'm saying, and it's not just football. It's basketball. It's volleyball. It's baseball. It's everything. They're atrocious. And then I hate when parents try to tell us how to do our jobs.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
You
I
just
had
get
that
that everywhere too, man.
I had
It's
that issue
everywhere.
happen. I had that issue happen during a game when I was coaching
Yeah,
at
I'm pretty
at
sure that can be annoying to say the least.
well, yeah, when I my headset was only one-sided, so I could hear the fans. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
And to have to keep it professional was pretty hard at times.
Oh, I'm sure. I can only imagine. I mean, being a parent myself, you know, I can understand where the parents, where
Hmm.
they're coming from, maybe to a certain degree, but at the same time, I can see where you're coming from at a certain degree. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of,
we li- it's the profession we choose. And like
yeah.
I'm not gonna stop coaching just because a parent gets underneath my skin.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
So
yeah.
let's run back over your season a little bit. You said that you went 4-6 on your overall season. You went 2-4 in your region. You were 1-4
Yes.
at home, and you were 3-2 away.
Yes.
Um, some say that would be for first year coach and first year program coming in. I know you have an interim head coach this year.
Hmm.
Um, that's not a bad record. That's not a bad record
No.
to have a
No.
4-6, especially with an interim coach coming in, having your previous coach recently um, have different opportunities come available. 4-6,
Yeah.
learning a new program, a new system. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna say, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I think that's a really good record to have. we had a first-year coach come in, and we went 0-10 the first year. The second year we went 0-7 because of COVID, and then the year after that we went 7-3, I think. Yeah, 7-3. Having that foreign rec, how do you feel about that? Having a new system coming in, new coaching staff come in. I mean that
The
should shed some light on this program has potential. I mean, you
I
look at one of
feel
your quarterback, your sophomore
I,
quarterback. He did fairly well this year
yeah, he was honorable.
statistically.
He was honorable mention for all region. Our class, our underclassmen that'll now be upperclassmen, they have the potential to be something special here. Not taking anything away from our seniors and our juniors that are now going to be seniors, but that sophomore class, and we have an eighth grade class coming in that could be really special too for our JV kids. And then those JV kids that are going to step up to the varsity level next year. It could be a huge turnaround season next year. And 4-6 just doesn't cut it anymore. We've all said it. 4-6 is not where we want to be. We has aspirations of hanging the region banner or hosting a first round playoff game. We don't talk about 4-6. That's in the past. It's like Chris Kinney picked us go 5-5. I'll be honest. Said we couldn't score on offense. Said we couldn't stop anybody on defense. And we had a few games. Yeah, we couldn't stop anybody on defense, or we couldn't score points. Prime example, Douglas lost 41-3. Couldn't score. Sayurita, we almost beat them. We lose 24-12. Glendale had them on the ropes, just missed tackles. Cost us. We wrap up better. We win that ball game, and we're 5-5. Amphi, we just, I think, prepare better, or prepare for stuff we're not gonna see on film, or we didn't see on film. They ran against us. We take out their number one running back, and the next man up, he's just as quick, and that's what cost us.
So looking back on your records, back in the 21-22 season, you guys went 0-8 originally.
Yep.
Coming from an 0-8 record onto a 4-6 2 years in a row.
Yep.
That's quite the improvement, especially at a 4A level. I mean, I've never coached anything higher than a 3A, but at a 4A level, that's pretty impressive. Especially, like I said, coming in with a new staff, new coaching scheme.
Exactly.
Spending your whole summer learning a certain type of scheme and then having that change last minute, that seems to be, in my eyes, that is a very good record to have, especially with all the things that you've had to overcome.
Yeah. We dealt with a lot of team adversity, not just as a team, but like as a staff. We've had to overcome some things. I personally have been dealing with some stuff and the boys are all aware of what I'm dealing with, and they're on board with me. They're hungry. They are very hungry. I get asked multiple times a day, when are we going to get back to it? Let's go. They're wanting to improve on that 4-6.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that can drive you for sure, and that's something that you can use as motivation, is to be better than the 4-6. Even though, like you said, 4-6 with considering a new coach and a new playbook coming in and all that, that's not a bad record overall.
Exactly.
But of course, everybody wants to do better than that. But yeah, so I mean, to use that as motivation, I would drive it home every day.
Yeah, we'll be getting one of our leading rushers back next year. He missed the whole season. He broke his arm in preseason, so he had to sit out the whole season. He'll be back. He'll be a senior. I can almost guarantee you he'll have 1,500 yards in our offense.
Nice.
And that's not even. That's not just because the kid's work ethic is that he just puts in the work. He's already in the weight room. He's already doing things on his own to prepare for next year.
And that's a big thing, coming in and having that mentality of, I missed out last season. I'm going to come in and take over this coming season, because I need to. That's the mentality that they all should have, especially coming off a 4-6 record. Like I said, a lot of them don't. You said earlier, they don't think of it as a 4-6 record. It's 0-0 now. let's make
Exactly.
it undefeated. Let's go, at least 7-2 or 7-1, or
Yeah,
not
especially
7-2,
with
7-1, but
if they have like dreams of being college football, NFL, and all that stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's another thing that I work a lot. I work the recruiting hard. Hard. I have maybe 6 or 7 guys going to play in the Senior Bowl this year that could go potentially play D2 or a small FCS school or
Now,
D3.
now is since the Neil and all that stuff came to college football, has it changed recruiting in the high school levels?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I don't see a lot of it. I mean, I know a lot about it because I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree in sports management. So I know a lot about the NIL and all that good stuff. But I feel like kids are still getting recruited. They just have to work a lot harder now to get recruited.
Yeah,
It's not going to be just your grades. They're going to want to see in the first 20 seconds of your film, you gotta show it.
yeah.
And so yeah,
Are you a fan of the NIL or are you against the NIL?
I, I'll be honest. I like it to an extent because I do play video games, and it brought back my college football game
Yeah,
after 14 years.
I
So
mean, I'm on the fence with it because I get it. It makes sense. These kids have their name and likeness being used on video
yep,
games, and
yep,
so they should be able to earn something. But at the same time, I feel like it takes away from what college football was.
exactly. It hurts the transfer portal more than it does
Yeah, because
anything.
now college
You get
football is basically turned into the NFL with a free agency, pretty much.
exactly. I just seen this afternoon Bryce Underwood, top quarterback in I think next year's class. Yeah, next year's class flipped his commit from I think it was LSU to Michigan because of money.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, but that's going to be more and more. I think that's why Nick Saban retired, dude. I think he just got fed up with it.
I honestly think that's what it was. I know that's why Mike Krzyzewski from Duke retired.
Yeah, because
So
it kind of takes away from the game, really.
yeah,
I mean,
it
but
does.
like I said, even though I understand, what it's about and it makes sense, those kids do deserve. But to throw millions and millions of dollars at these, some of these
Yep,
kids, bro,
yep,
are still teenagers.
yeah.
It's kind of
It's
crazy.
it's it's nuts. It is completely
it's no
nuts.
longer a sport anymore. It's a business.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, for sure,
that's
one
all it
hundred
is.
And
percent.
and kids at that age shouldn't be worrying about business. They should be worrying about having fun and doing, things they like
Yep.
to do, like play football without having to worry about a contract being signed or anything
Yeah,
like
because
that.
I'm old. I'm old enough to remember back when you wanted to be an athlete. You would play. You pick your sport.
Yep.
Whatever it was, you would
Yep.
bust your butt at being as great as you can be to hopefully get accepted into a college, which
Yep.
then turn around, you would bust your butt there with the hopes of maybe getting into a professional league. Well, now there's like
Exactly.
shortcuts now.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
And sorry
So
to say it, a lot of it comes from whoever has money. Whoever has the
Ex-
money can
oh yeah,
buy their way to it.
Yep. Yep. I
It's
mean,
ridiculous. It's
there's a school. There's a school in Illinois. Honestly, they they go all over the country for their 7-on-7 tournaments every year. Um, they've won 12 state championships. Um, they literally they went to IMG just this year and almost pulled off an upset against IMG, which is nationally ranked. They lost 14-13 in overtime.
wow.
Yeah, and those kids, I know those kids get recruited. I know for a fact they do
well,
to go to
absolutely.
East
Now,
St. Louis.
but is high school football, or I guess any sport really, just I should probably say high school athletics. Is it basically kind of like where kids can choose to go to that school, or is it still like zoned area? If you live in a certain zone, that's automatically the school that you go to.
It is, but parents can say they have an address in a certain zone, so they can send their kid there, or they can say they live with such and such aunt or uncle, just so their kid can go to school there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's bad. It's
I
it's pretty bad.
If I remember correctly, there was a coach down in the down in the Phoenix area, um, who actually got caught for that.
Yep.
He would go pick up the kids from a certain area and drive them to their school just so he could have them on their team. And I mean, that's a way to do it. I mean, when we were going to move down to Rio Rico, we didn't live in the Rio Rico high school district, well, the junior high district and stuff like that. If I wanted my kids to go to the junior high and the elementary that were next to Rio Rico, so they could just walk over
Mm-hmm.
after school, go to the practice field, I had to
Mm-hmm.
drive them to the school.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and that's how we were going to do it. But then, we ended up not doing that, and so
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
and like up here too, we live in the small town that we live in. If
Yeah.
my kids wanted to go to the next town over, I would have to drive them to the school, pick them up from school every day in order for them to be able to attend that school and participate in the sports there. So it's interesting how a lot of these people can get away with different things like that. And then of course the AIA is going to look into it. They got to do the
Yeah,
waiver, so if
there was a coaching staff that was penalized for it just last year.
yeah.
And that coaching staff is no longer in the state.
Well, I mean, it just goes
Oh
back
yes,
to
I
what you
remember that.
said. It just goes back to
I
what you
remember that.
said. I mean, it's a business now, and it's starting earlier and earlier every year. Where now
Yeah.
they're poaching kids in junior high school. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude. That
Yeah.
stuff didn't
Mm-hmm.
happen when I was younger.
No, it didn't happen when I was in school.
Nope.
I
You
mean,
played for the district you were in.
but again, like I said, I mean, I understand the concept of the NIL.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying these kids don't deserve anything because they should deserve something with their name and likeness being used, but
Right.
millions of dollars is not the answer. I don't feel like.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. I mean, we like at Rio, and Donnie can attest to this. We have one of the nicest facilities probably in our region. We have a brand new field
Absolutely.
house. We have a brand new field house. We have a brand new pool. We have I think 2 or 3 year old brand new stadium.
That's 3 years old.
Yeah, that we have it. We
Nice
have it
turf.
all.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
it all. Our baseball field is getting turfed. So we have the best of the best. So like we don't really see kids flopping and leaving our district. We see kids coming in because they want the best of the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that new field house you're gonna have, that's gonna have a weight room. That's gonna
Yes, it's got a
have
weight. It's got a weight room in it. It's got a film room in it.
mm-hmm.
It's got a coach's office in it.
Yep.
It's got another film room in it where we can hold the whole team in it to watch film and prepare. So yeah, we got the best of the best right now in
Some
4A.
pretty nice. It's a pretty nice facility.
Oh, I can't wait for the field house to open up once they put the new
That was
weights
supposed
in
to.
there. And it's
I
it's
said that was supposed
open.
to be open this past year.
We just haven't been able to use it because they took too long to finish up the construction.
Nice. So you had to
So
walk the switchback.
oh yeah, but that switchback that made memories like walking down the hill and everything.
Yeah.
That gave me goosebumps every Friday night
Well, since
or
you have
Thursday.
like a huge passion of the game, and you, like you said in your introduction earlier, ever since you were a kid in school yourself,
Yeah.
is there like a inspirational coach figure that you try
I
to
mean,
model yourself after?
I'm probably gonna get ridiculed for this one, but I look up to Bill Belichick.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
He's-
Next man mentality up. Um, I I've been a Patriots fan since I was little. Um, and
oh
then
my goodness.
yeah, I know.
uh,
It's better than being a Cardinals fan or a
I'm not a
Bears
Cardinals
fan.
fan.
It's
I'm not
better
a
than
Bears
being a
fan.
Bears fan. So
he's our
my wife's
Broncos.
my wife is a Packers fan. So
Oh my god, that's just as bad.
Well, see, when it comes to the NFL, I don't really necessarily have a favorite team.
and like I'm still rooting for the Patriots, even though we're 3-8, 3-9, something like that.
I'm more
Yeah.
of a college football type of fan.
College. Everybody tell me my offense is boring, but it is. But I'm an
You're
Iowa
a
Hawkeye.
Hawkeyes.
I'm a Hawkeye fan through and through. I
Notre
just love
Dame.
the ground and pound. I just wish we had a passing game at times.
I've been
Well,
a Notre Dame fan pretty much my whole life.
the
Yeah.
ground and pound's really not that bad of a game. I mean, if you come into
No,
that where you need to get that 1-2 yards, you know you have the people to do it.
exactly, exactly. And that's probably why I like working on the offensive side of the ball more than I do the defensive side because I'm just gonna line up and say I'm gonna smack the guy in the mouth that's across from me.
Yeah, that's another question I would ask too. Is which would you like? I mean, I feel like to me, being on offense, either
Hmm.
as a player or as a coach, would just be
Hmm.
more exciting than being on defense.
Right.
I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah, Donnie's the defensive guy. Like I I'm more offensive minded, but I can switch gears if I need to and go to the defensive side. I just feel more comfortable putting points on the board and putting the defensive in situations they don't want to be in.
I mean,
Um,
because if you look at games, I mean, most of the time, unless it's one of those like dog fights where defense matters the most, and it's a low
hmm.
scoring game where defenses
Hmm.
are just shutting each other out. It's pretty much an offensive sport, really.
Yes, yes. Um, I had that a couple of years ago. When I was still living in Illinois, we had we had a shootout in the state championship and lost by a point.
Dang,
Lost lost 45-44.
dang,
So is
that
that
In
is
a
must have been
that
a
state.
heartbreaker.
considered a defensive fail? Oh, not I shouldn't say failure. Is that because the defense couldn't stop them, or the offense just couldn't put enough points up? I
Um,
mean,
I'm not gonna. I'm
that can
not
kind of
really
go
gonna.
both ways.
I'm not real. Well, our philosophy was we went for two every time and we onside kicked every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Jeez,
Every
Yeah.
time. We recovered 29 onside kicks that year,
holy
which set a
smokes!
Wow,
state
that's a
set a
lot.
state set a state record. I had a running back that had close to 5,000 yards rushing. He had almost 50 touchdowns by himself. Had 7 of them in the state championship game by himself.
Wow, and
That's
that's
Um,
small
crazy.
town. That's small town
th-
football right there.
that was not small town. That was 5A football in
No,
Illinois. We won the state semifinal game 75-54, I think.
that's a blowout.
We literally would line up and we played man coverage, cover zero, and said, take your best shot.
Bro,
We
75 points in football is insane.
we
Yeah,
we we brought the house every single play.
that's
And I
insane.
mean that team's still doing it. They lost in the quarterfinals just this past weekend in Illinois. Um, but they had a first year head coach this year. They went 9-3. One of my good buddies actually never had called a play on offense or defense, and he was an O-line coach, and now he's a head coach. So
So now I'm assuming your football season is over. So what are you doing now? Is football
I,
completely
I
done right now and you're on to wrestling, or
it
do
is
you
it is for Illinois and Arizona. But I'm still working football. I work football 365 days of the year. I don't take a break, and
man,
I get the flack from my wife all the time. She's like, "Can you just spend time with me? Can you just spend time?" So occasionally, I'll take time to just spend with her, and
that's
like I put my
important.
phone I put my phone down occasionally so that I can spend some time with her. But like, she works in the school. She was at every single game that was at home. She did all the ticket sales and all that. Um, I mean, her biggest commitment was moving across the country so I could do what I do.
Gotta love her
And
for that.
yes, yes. As you know, my
Or
wife,
you?
Donnie. As you know,
Mm-hmm.
my wife. And you know the football thing. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Because I know you probably
I,
get it from
I
your wife.
I get it. I get it from my wife, and she's like, "You ever gonna take time off? Are you ever gonna come and hang out with us?" It's like, yes. I just got to make sure this is ready for tomorrow. I just got to make sure
Yep.
my
Yep.
JV stuff is ready, my varsity stuff is ready, special teams, whatever it is, that's all
Yep.
got to be ready. You know,
Yep.
before
I put, I
I
put,
even go to sleep at night.
yep. I make sure my kids are set before I even go to sleep. Like,
Now,
I
are
have a
you
kid, I have a kid right now that's injured and he's not been in school. since we played our last varsity game, which was November 8th, and I've been checking on him every day.
That's important.
So
That's important to those kids.
Now,
yeah.
when you're in the locker room down by, down by 5 points, 6 points,
Mm-hmm.
what motivation speech do you is your go-to? Is it just off the whim, or do you have like something like preset?
Usually it's off the whim, and I just look at him in the face and I'm like, "How bad do you guys want it? How bad do you really want it?" And usually that flips a switch. When we played Nogales for homecoming, we didn't have to say much. They knew who we were playing. It was the hated rival.
It's a big time game. That's
That
what is it? Battle of I-19.
Yeah, Battle of I-19. There was 4,000 people in the stands.
Yep.
People screaming. I was literally in the press box on the headset, and I was having a hard time trying to relay information because it was so loud.
That's crazy.
Like people, yeah, we had security and everything. It was crazy. It was one of the biggest games
So,
I've been a part of.
so Coach, real quick, I want to ask you this one last question regarding football.
Yes,
The 4A playoffs started last week.
yes,
There's 8 teams left.
yes.
Who do you see is going to take it? Who do you think is going to take it all the way?
So Micah's in 4A, right?
I mean, yeah, Micah Mountain's in there. So there's Yuma Catholic, Walden Grove, Thunderbird, Micah Mountain, Snowflake, Prescott, Arcadia, and Arizona College Prep. Now, Snowflake, if I remember correctly, they came in undefeated this year.
They did. Snowflake
So
came
they're
in
a
undefeated.
powerhouse.
Snowflake came in undefeated. Arcadia's undefeated. Micah's undefeated. So those are your 3 top teams right there. But the sleeper could be Yuma Catholic. They're sitting at 9-1, 10-1, I
Yeah, they're
believe.
having a good season. They're having
Um,
a good season.
and I mean, some of us know they're gonna have a new head coach next year. He's not coming back. So I think Yuma Catholic could surprise some teams and go out and get it done for their coach.
Well, that
Another
would
one
be
would be Walden Grove. I could see Walden Grove pulling the upset against Micah because they play each other.
It's Yuma Catholic and Walden Grove tonight.
Okay, well then, yeah. So I thought Micah played Walden Grove.
No, I think they're playing Thunderbird.
Okay, but yeah, Yuma Catholic could be one to watch out for. That's a real interesting ball club after watching film on them and seeing
Yeah.
what they do. But that's a little
So I'm
drive.
gonna be a little biased. I think Snowflake's gonna take it all the way. Only
I
because
think Micah's the team. Honestly, I wasn't really impressed with Snowflake when I seen them.
they got some beefy boys though. They're the
They do.
corn-fed boys up there.
They do got some beefy up front, but
Yep.
I don't know.
So being from the Snowflake area, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Snowflake just because they would be considered a hometown. I'm being biased about it. So
You be biased because for the Illinois state championship for 1A, I'm taking the powerhouse that I lived close to, and they've won it 6 out of the last 8 years, and yeah, they're just gonna win again. I think this year. But yeah, and that's
yeah,
that's a Lena Winslow team up by Wisconsin.
yeah,
They're right on
because
the
Snowflake put the whooping on Canyon del Oro.
CDO.
In the CDO in the first round, they put a
Yeah, they
whooping
did.
59-6,
Yeah,
and
that's what
then
I'm
they're
telling
playing
you.
Prescott, and Prescott
CDO
barely
was down
beat
this year.
Vista Grande.
Yeah,
No, didn't they move up? I thought they were 3A last year. I don't know,
I don't remember.
but
They were the
anyways,
state champs though.
I got Snowflake for the win. So
I'm taking Micah. I'm
I
taking
don't know
Micah
any of
until
them.
I'm taking Micah until
we'll see it in 2 weeks,
until yeah, I'm taking Micah until somebody can prove me wrong.
which will be Snowflake.
Micah is just the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Now, like 5A, I don't know anything 3A, I think Florence has got a shot.
Florence always has a shot, bro. Florence is always
Dude,
in that running.
that running back is fast.
He's not a he's. Oh my! I don't have any words for. I didn't really follow Florence this year like I would normally do, but I completely agree. I mean, he's
One cut and gone.
gonna be a wrecking at any
One,
level.
one cut and gone. He's going to run track in college. Yeah, he
So,
he put a beating on us.
so another question for you, Coach. For our listeners out here, what's one piece of advice you would give them
To the young, to the young
just
coaches, to the
to
young
to
coaches.
the young coaches, the young athletes, the people that are just listening in, the regular day Joe.
I would say if you're passionate about something, just stick with it. Stick with it. I've always been told I wouldn't be a coordinator or a head coach, and I'm starting to get looks from all over, from back in Illinois to Arizona to Michigan to wherever. I don't take no for an answer. I'm not gonna lay down and let somebody take a job from me. Um, I'm out to prove everybody wrong. Just stick with whatever you're passionate about. That's my biggest takeaway that I would give anybody. And for the young coaches, you're going to want to find a wife that understands the grind, because the grind never stops.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about you, Irish? You got anything?
I got a quote, but I'm not. It's from Zig Ziglar, where it says, "The road to success is always under construction." So, like what the coach was just saying, you got a passion for it, just keep going. And like I've said many times on this podcast, dude, if there's something you want to do, just do it. Nothing can stop you but you. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like my biggest thing is, and Donnie knows this, I was hit with cancer 3 years ago.
Yes,
and I get up every day, put my shoes on the same way, put my socks on the same way, my jeans, and I still go to work, and I still coach football and wrestling and everything else. So yeah,
oh, man.
I'm still battling, and I don't let it stop me.
Well, I wish you the very best, brother.
Thank you.
I was lucky enough to beat it myself. I've been cancer free now for a year and a half. So I pray to God that you could do the same.
I've beaten it 3 times and it's come back 3 times. I have what they call chronic myeloid leukemia.
Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
Well, the best of luck to you, man.
Thanks.
Best luck, Coach. And good luck on the rest of your off-season workouts. And I would like to thank Coach Mott from Rio Rico coming in and spending some time with us this evening, having a conversation about football. As always, it's good to talk with you guys. Have fun.
Football is always fun to talk about.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's fun to play too.
Yes. Yes.
But with that, we're coming up on our time now. So, like I said, once again, thank you for coming in, Coach Mott, and spending the evening with us. We will let you get back to your family, your wife, and stuff. And
I will gladly come on anytime, guys.
All right,
Coach, we appreciate you, man. You have a good one.
You too.
Okay. All right, everyone. As always, stay safe. Don't overthink it. Have a good night.
As we wrap it up, let's keep it real. Another chapter close, another chance to heal. The journey's just starting, got miles to go. And every step we're taking is part of the show. Whether it's highs or lows, the laughs or pain, we're all just learning to dance in the rain. But this ain't goodbye, it's a see you soon. Together we're chasing that next tune. So don't overthink it, just let it flow. Life's a wild ride, we're all here to grow. Keep coming back, there's so much to see. Together we're stronger, just wait and see. Every story shared, every lesson learned builds a fire in us, keeps that passion burned. We're here to lift, to laugh, to inspire. And in each episode, we take it higher. You got dreams to chase, mountains to climb. So here's your reminder, you're right on time. Whatever life throws, just keep moving on. you're never alone. Together we're strong. So breathe in deep, feel the fire inside. You're not just watching this life, you're along for the ride. When doubts creep in, remember this sound. It's all part of the journey, don't let it bring you down. Don't overthink it, let it all flow. Step by step, that's how we grow. Keep coming back, 'cause there's more to find. Together we're building that state of mind.